80s, your lyrics really shouldn't be that shocking to a lot of people.
That, yeah.
It seems like it shouldn't be a real big deal, but I think a lot of people are shocked. Do you do that on purpose? Is there a shock factor?
I like to shock people. I mean, I've always
creates a reaction.
That's
whether
right.
it's positive or negative reaction, it still creates a reaction.
I like for people to be able to react to something I say, or I don't know, call me exhibitionist. I don't know, whatever.
Okay.
Naturally.
Getting back then to the exhibitionist thing, for example, you have this image. You wear lingerie for your shows.
Yes.
The lyrics are real sexually explicit.
Yeah.
That's all an image, or is it? Do you live that way personally?
That's
we like it.
Yeah, we definitely
like
love
it.
it. I love lingerie. I've always loved it since I was a kid. I was always stealing it out of my mother's closets and trying to wear it to school and getting in trouble for it, and that whole. But it's an extension of our personalities, of course.
We didn't put it together as a gimmick to make money. That's part of the way that we really are.
Now, I'm not just talking about the lingerie. I'm just talking about the whole sexual thing. Just the explicit stuff on the album. Mm-hmm. Is that something just played up a lot to sell records?
No,
it's something that we're talking about at this particular time. We didn't. I mean, of course, it sells. Sex sells a lot of things. You can't turn the TV on today and not see something that they're using sex appeal to sell. We didn't do it just, as I said, a gimmick or to make the money, just to sell, because it definitely will sell. It's not like it's a new thing. We are really definitely into some of the things we're saying at this time. We could be talking about something else next time around. Next album could be about this particular filming. Could be about anything.
They ask us why we sell sex. No, it's really it's my personality to write that way. That's the kind of thing that I love to write about. At this point in my life, this is the kind of thing I'm experiencing. What I say in Nasty Girls, which is definitely a hit. Do you think I'm a nasty girl? I'm living in a fantasy. It's all part of a fantasy also. So,
Why don't you just talk a little bit more about some of your other hit songs and the lyrics on it?
If a girl answers, don't hang up, just talk about it. Just talk about it. Just talk about it. Right.
Just tell me how you got the ideas for the songs and personal experience.
That's a true story that happened to Vanity when she was previous to Vanity 6, and she was telling, we just happened to be sitting around one night after we'd gotten together, and she was telling me about this story. She'd called up a guy who had apparently been in touch with her earlier in the day. She tried to get back to him, and there was a girl on the other end who didn't particularly care for the fact that she was calling. And so they had a few words, and she was telling me the story about it, and we sat around guffawing and saying, well, we do this about it, and this is why don't we write a song? So we did, and what we
so it really started just as a funny experience that happened to me. I wasn't too pleased about.
I haven't seen the video yet. What song does that deal with?
That's He's So Dull, and that was our very first single. And that's a great song. It's He's So Dull. It deals with him being so dull. He's driving a '63 Rambler, and he won't get anywhere with us. And it's a great video. It's really pretty. It's not the type of video that, it's not like a small movie. It just shows us, simply and dancing and choreographing the song. And at the end of the video, what happens is there's a doll guy, right?
She's tough, Ben.
And I take off his hat and throw away his glasses and whatever, and throw him down the stairs. And, so and everybody thought that, did you really throw him down the stairs?
She threw him.
Yeah, I did throw him down the stairs.
So
all those people that want to know, did I throw him down the stairs? Yes, I threw him down the stairs.
So your next album might deal with sex, politics.
Could deal with anything that we're experiencing between now and then.
Well, just give me an idea of how the three of you feel on things like drugs and in politics.
Drugs, I feel very much against drugs. I mean, I can't tell, other people what to do and with their lives. I think as far as drugs and alcohol, it certainly doesn't get me far. I can't, work by it. It doesn't help me. And I'm not about to, hey, you guys, don't you dare. It doesn't work for me. Never works. I certainly wouldn't be able to continue a career with it because I have to be on, as they say, on the ball.
It doesn't influence you very
Right.
well. It just creates illusions for you.
Right.
It's not something that should be. You should really try and stay away from it, actually, because it doesn't. It
only
not a
hurts
good
you in
thing.
the end.
Yeah,
Right?
it's only going to. There's just too many people nowadays. You hear on the news all the time about people who are, even business executives, government executives. Just it's not.
Messed up by it.
Yeah.
That might be a song in the future.
Yeah, there could be. We're not strongly into politics because we're just kids.
There's
No.
politics in everything.
But
There's politics in the music business. There's politics in
Everywhere.
even if you're just a waitress in the local restaurant. There's some kind of politics that you have to
As far as
that
I'm
you're inevitably drawn into, regardless of whether you want to be a part of politics or not. So there's just anything. There could be anything that we could write about next time around that would have some kind of influential politics in the background somewhere in there. There's not any particular category where we'd say the moral majority or anything like. There's not anything that we allow to let ourselves become afraid of that would influence how we would write something. In other words, we knew that we may get some flack out of some of the particular subject matter off of this album, but we didn't allow it to influence us so that we didn't write what we wanted to write. There's going to be people out there who's not going to go for it, but there are going to be also people out there who's going to go for it. You can't have one without the other, so there's going to be.
Okay. Let's get back to your performance. I've never seen your show. Your bio says that you live your fantasies and dreams on stage. Just describe a little bit about how you do that.
Well, just wearing lingerie is one of our was a fantasy of mine. I wanted to wear lingerie on stage for a long time. And I finally got the opportunity, and that was a surprise,
Okay, I just want to ask three of you individually to describe the feeling you get when you're on stage performing. Emotionally, how do you feel? What's going through your mind? How does it make you feel?
Yeah, I feel it's possibly the greatest, I guess, high that a person could possibly have. I get more energy up on stage than anywhere. I mean, I'm able to do whatever I want to and make a crowd feel good, and to see a smile on somebody's face is nice after you've performed, to see people clapping.
I mean, wearing it's real comfortable for one thing, and dance around so much and the lights get so hot. That's the best thing, to wear something and feel cool, I mean.
But how do you feel performing overall when you're up there and the crowds you're acting to?
Oh, I love it. I think nothing nasty about it, so it's mainly just like another piece of clothing everybody else is wearing. And it's wonderful. It's just
No, not drop the lingerie, just how you feel when you're having a real good show and the audience is reacting real good. How does that make you feel? What's going through your mind?
Oh, it makes me feel great. I mean, making people respond, it's wow. Just something like that.
Okay, and Brittany, you're talking a little bit more about how you live out fantasies and dreams on stage.
It was a statement my parents had made to me quite some time ago, was that the stage is one of the only places in the world where you can really be anything and do anything that you really want to do and still sort of get away with it. I feel fantastic when I'm out on the stage and the crowd's having a good time and I'm having a good time. There's not anything else in the world that can compare to it. I just get this overall sense of contentment and satisfaction that I have also made other people happy. I couldn't really call it an ego thing. I think only because for myself personally that as long as I see the people enjoying it, that they're enjoying what I'm doing and what I'm offering them in the form of entertainment, that it makes me feel good, that I could make somebody else have a good time also.
Okay.
Does that answer your question?
Yeah. Susan, why don't you just tell me, what do your parents or family think about you being out on the road at such a young age?
Well, when I first started this, it was like, well, if it's something you really want to do, it's fine, because they let me do what I want and whatever makes me happy. And they think nothing bad about it. It's like, go ahead, and I'm free to do what I want to do. And it's really good. It's a good feeling, You can go out there and do it.
The parents understand your ambition, which is, the same with all our parents.
So when you sit down to write lyrics, do you get a lot of ideas from friends or just,
Just living, just life in general, just my own life, I write a lot about it and the things I feel.
The average middle-class person who sees this is going to say, she's only 16, how could she, have those kinds of ideas for songs?
You'd be surprised. Well, you can't. How can anybody really say that? I mean, anybody. I'm sure most people. There couldn't be a person. I'm sure you have at the age of 13, 14 started going, what is this? And you want to be able to feel free enough to go to your parents and ask them, what sex is all about, because you're starting to learn what goes on between a man and a woman, or a male and a female, just the interactions. And you start asking questions. You start getting physiological urges. You don't know. You don't understand. You don't know why, and you want to find out. And society, unfortunately, has a lot of the times forced you into a position where, no, you're not supposed to know anything about this. You're supposed to wait until you get older, at a certain other age bracket, and so on and so forth. And then when you get to that age bracket, you're supposed to know everything and not have learned anything. But you still question your friends at school you talk to, because they're feeling the same way. And you get very frustrated because you want to find out what's going on. You want to find out why. It's a very natural thing, really. And Mommy, why did Joey kiss me? Yeah. Oh, boy.